This is a constructive criticism of the defense industry. First off, we got two blatantly for-profit wars casting a crippling debt over future Americans. Secondly, our intelligence community is being used as a killing machine instead of a peacekeeping force for good. The military has been employing psychological operations on American citizens, more specifically senators. Endless growth in the defense budget is not sustainable, thusly not a worthwhile investment in my opinion. The military uses corporate media and social media platforms to disseminate pro-American propaganda. The use of depleted uranium, zirconium, and white phosphorus as weapons is not humane. Cross-generational warfare will no longer be tolerated. This is the line. I'm drawing it. You're drawing it. Here, now, the military routinely uses robotic warfare, a virulent form of malignant class warfare waged against the people with dirt floors. Also, black budget, top secret projects have no fiscal oversight as far as I can tell, as far as we can tell, which could lead to both fiscal irresponsibility and possibly ethical incongruencies with the American way. Pretty obvious stuff. Stop the profits of death and imperialism today. What are you guys doing? Can you get a tap check real quick? Yeah? If you're a she, I'll give it like 8 thumbs up, baby. Oh, too soon? Sorry. Alright, well now we have a very, very, very important speaker coming up right now. Actually, probably one of the most important people in the whole Occupy Cleveland movement. Brian Cummins, coming to the mic. Let's give him a round of applause right now. Welcome, Occupy Cleveland! You know, we've been working really. My brain's just packed with stuff, and I'll try to express a little bit. One thing that I'm trying to share with people is some of the actual facts. I mean, a lot of people say that you can make statistics, say whatever you want, but I think ultimately if individually and as a collective group we dig in to the statistics and the numbers and the realities of what we're facing, I think most Americans are going to be appalled if we can get their attention. This movement is frankly in competition with billboards, TV, radio, God bless Facebook, and all the social media. It's in competition with single mothers that are working 2 jobs. It's in competition with families where both parents are working. They're both working so much, they hardly have time to help their kids with their homework. We're working up against a culture that has developed over the years. Because I felt very strongly if there was any city and state in this country that needed a strong voice for urban working poor, was the city of Cleveland in the state of Ohio. We have an election coming up in November. You're going to be hearing speakers with this movement talk about the losing ground. But, you know, we have a saying in the labor movement, an injury to one is an injury to all. And what we're facing here in the United States and across the world is not an injury to one, it's an injury to almost all of us. And so, you know, it's with great pleasure that people who are involved in the labor movement see, you know, people who have never gotten involved before coming out. And, you know, Ohio is a real special case because as you can see on the sign that I brought, you know, it says no on 2. And what issue 2 is attack on not just public labor unions and not just attack on organized labor, it's attack on all working people. Because if you look at the decline in density of the labor movement from where we had like 40 or 50% of workers in unions, and now we have about 7 to 12%, you can see the same line going down of income disparity. So as unions have declined, the poor have gotten poorer, the middle class has gotten poorer, and that wealthy 1% or 10% or whatever you want to call it, they just keep getting richer and richer because they are designing a system based on wealth stratification. So, I'm here to talk about issue 2 and how important it is to vote no on issue 2 and how important it is to tell your neighbors and your friends and your family to vote no on issue 2 and how important it is to go down to the AFL-CIO on weekends and grab a canvas packet and hit the streets and go door to door and tell other people to vote no on issue 2. When we win in November and we defeat issue 2, that's just the beginning. You know, we have to look at where we're going next. So, real quick, who here is in a labor union? All right, there you go. That is the problem that we have in America, that we have a crowd of activists, and they're not organized, and you all are organized. You know, this is an amazing organization, but I'm talking about union organization, because having a union is having a voice in the workplace. It's collective action in the workplace and then outside of the workplace. So it's time to have a union.
Yeah.
What? Yeah, so absolutely. So a lot of people are exploring ways to reignite the labor movement in the 21st century economy. You know, I think my union SEIU is organizing the unorganized, and UFCW is organizing the unorganized. But there's also a resurgent labor movement with the industrial workers of the world, the IWW, who had hundreds of thousands of members in the height of the American industry, and they're back. They're back to form a union. So if you're interested in the IWW, talk about bringing a union to your workplace, because if you have a union in your workplace, you have power in your workplace. If you don't, you have no power in your workplace. And that's why it's important to vote no on issue 2, because it's an attack not just on police and fire and teachers, but it's an attack on you. And if you're wondering why in Cleveland we have such wonderful and generous and class-conscious cops, it's because of issue 2. You know, they are now understanding that they are on the firing line as well. So make sure you vote no on issue 2, and make sure that you think about what can a union do for you. Thank you all for being here, and keep the faith and stay warm, okay?
Occupy Cleveland! Yeah, organized labor! I'm too close to this mic! I'm too hot up here! Woo! I'm too close to this mic. Alright, so my name is Ben Shapiro, and I'm here actually as a representative of the Ohio Sierra Club. And I'm going to be talking about some major environmental issues going on in Ohio that are tied with the segregation of wealth and with the takeover of corporations over our state. Oh man. Yeah. So first of all, though, I just want to say, raise your hand if you've been staying in the camp. How does it feel? How does it feel to be living with people that support you? Feels pretty good, because what we have going on, what we have starting here, is a movement. And what is a movement? What is a movement? This is a movement. People are coming together. We're coming from all different places. We're coming from organized labor. We're coming from social equality. We're coming from gender equality. We're coming from racial equality. We're coming from environmental equality to stand up for everybody. This for me is what being the 99% means. It means that we're not the greedy banksters, the vampires, sucking our energy, sucking our labor, sucking our power out, and using it for nothing else just to get them wealthier and to get them more power. We're doing something different here. We're standing up for each other. We're saying that we believe in each other, that we support each other. And if you don't support other people, what are you doing here? So let's stand with each other. Let's stand with those who are homeless. Let's stand with those who are sick and can't get health care. Let's stand with those who don't have power in their workplace. Let's stand with people who are oppressed because of their gender, because of their sexuality, because of their race, because of their political beliefs that happen in this country. We need to stand with those who are failing because of this system of structured inequality. And we're doing it by forming a movement. The way that we organize is the revolution. And that's happening right here. So how does it feel to be a part of that? It feels really good to me. This feels really good to me. And I feel powerful. And I hope everybody here feels powerful. Because together as the 99%, we are powerful. They have money, we have time, we have bodies. And for me, inclusion also has to do with this earth as one of the things that is suffering under our current system. Not only are they hurting people, they are hurting the planet. They're hurting the ecosystem that supports the sort of life as we know it. We're approaching certain points where the whole Earth's ability to regulate itself might be fundamentally and drastically changed beyond how we've known it. The future that our children and our children's children will be living in is under attack, because the way that we treat people is the way that we treat the Earth. They are the same. I'm here to talk about a major threat to our water and our land in Ohio, and that is shale gas drilling. Shale gas drilling, or horizontal drilling, is a new method of the oil and gas industry to try to squeeze out the last drops of fossil fuels that are killing this planet, to do it harder, to do it faster, and to do it with even less regard towards our lives and our health and the places that we hold dear. Right now, hydrofracking is in Pennsylvania, and it's moved into Ohio. They're going in, they're drilling 10,000 feet down to layers of shale in the earth, and using extremely toxic chemicals. They're injecting these chemicals into that layers of shale so they can explode those shale formations and release tiny little pockets of natural gas in the shale. Well, when you explode formations of earth underground, you get unintended consequences. You get earthquakes. You get natural gas in your drinking water. You get benzenes, every kind of conceivable hydrocarbon. You get every kind of controlled carcinogen coming up into your drinking water. That wastewater fluid flows back out. It kills the land. It kills animals. It leads to immensely increased rates of cancer. Just from the drilling in Ohio, radioactivity from those deep layers in the ground, radioactivity from this wastewater, radioactivity from this process has made the radioactivity of the Ohio River that feeds into all of our drinking water go up 300%. Just radioactivity, 300% increase in radioactivity in the past 5 years. And they're moving into Ohio. There are already 4 of these wells drilled. And we have an opportunity right now to learn from the experience of other states and tell these corporations no. We can tell Governor Kasich that his decision to allow this drilling in every single public park, every single public land, that's parks that we care about, that's our schools, that's public universities, that's fire stations. That we don't want this, not only do we not want this in our parks, we don't